Did it last week, and I released it this Monday.
Oh, wow.
So,
Hey, boy. You both, then bronze medalist.
and
Heck,
of course my
all them
5 minutes.
winners. Now you come right back to this. The flip.
Come back to reality.
Yeah, your career always equals out, bullet. Okay. You may be on the mountaintop for a little bit, but I'll bring you. Oh, but I
I felt naked without this jacket on. I sat down in that chair and I felt naked.
Oh, that's sentimental there for a moment, okay? Oh, shoot. Linus was looking for that blanket, Jack. There can't be a TV show without.
I felt really weird there.
Oh,
I didn't have
I love that.
I have the purple blazer on. It felt a little weird. It matches nothing that I own.
You won the Masters and they didn't give you nothing, boy.
Yeah.
What the heck's up with that? You bought the jacket. Very Thurston Howell III-ish on Gilligan's Island back in the day when the caveman landed on the island. And Thurston Howell tried to buy the caveman so he wouldn't eat him. So he gives him a big roll of money. Well, the caveman took the rubber band off, threw the money away, and found. Anyway.
And then he got off the island.
Oh, yeah. Then he used the rubber band to get off the island while everybody else stayed. So money won't buy you everything, okay?
So before we jump into the podcast, speaking of Gilligan's Island, I actually have been listening to the Johnny Carson podcast, which is Guy interviews people that used to be on the Johnny Carson show, the Tonight Show. And there's a real funny joke, and I don't know who said it, but he's talking about he's doing panel with Johnny, and he said that he was writing a new sitcom. It's basically Gilligan's Island, but a humorous version of it. So I thought that, and Johnny, I guess, loved that joke. So, and I do too.
All I know is it took them 13 seasons to get off. But if, boy, I want, as a compliment to you, if you would have been there that first season, they would have got. Listen, they would have got off that island a long time ago. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and the island will be opened up as a retreat resort right now. If you would have been on that island to begin with.
Okay.
Me and Ginger would have been long gone by now. Okay? Not Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen. Whatever.
Let's start the show
Okay.
so maybe they get the hint and quiet down. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leadership Dad Who Don't Work. You wrestle. You hear the claps. You know what time it is. George, how was your weekend?
Boy, what an unbelievable weekend here at George. Dad, you don't. George, you don't wrestle. Of course, George don't work either. But anyway, here at the studio, so everybody else will be quiet. But that's okay. But boy, I am so glad to be here. I had one unbelievable weekend this weekend. As you will feel for me, as I got to spend 2 great days with Terry Funk, the hardcore legend. Just a great time. But what I laughed. I'm gonna tell you what. We just kind of bonded. Okay. It was kind of sad when we had to take him to the airport. I tell you, he's just, unbelievable. What a great seminar he had, Bullet. 15 students in there, Bullet. First thing, I hope they got this on tape, is first thing he locked up and he arm dragged the guy. Of course, he yelled for me to come to help him get up, which I thought was cool as heck. But, Bullet, just unbelievable arm drag. I mean, straight out of the I can't even do that. But just amazing. We just had a great time, Bullet. He's just a good guy. And what was so amazing about the 2 weekends, Bullet, and I know I probably overly stayed my welcome with him, but, these young kids, maybe out of respect or whatever, but nobody really, Terry's such a nice guy. You may not think that, but he'll talk to anybody.
Oh, he will, absolutely.
Ain't that something? And a lot of those younger guys really didn't use that opportunity. I'm not talking about when people's there and he's making money with the meet and greet. I'm talking about just basically during the day.
Yeah. It is a little intimidating, though, because he is your hero and you don't want him to...
Oh, yeah.
You get that one good moment, like I always do. You get that one good moment, and then you hide from them forever. Like I've been hiding from Tully Blanchard for like the last 5 years, because every time I've seen him, it's always been nice and very positive.
You don't want to learn that.
There was one time where he about turned the corner on me, but like look, I got out, and I've been hiding from him ever since. Now he just pops in, he says hello to me, he gives me a big smile, and then I immediately run away from him before he ever turns into a butthole with me.
Yeah.
So I never give him an opportunity to be mad at me.
That's a very good point, Bullet. Quit while you're ahead.
Yes, and Terry is very much that same way.
One cool moment is Terry did have one picture, and of course he had already sold it to somebody, and he actually had the shirt that he had wore a few months ago when he had that famous match with Jerry Lawler, and Jerry Lawler burned him with the fire, and he had a beautiful 11x14 that this one gentleman also purchased. That just one picture, but his whole face is just engulfed What a great shot that was. But anyway, so it was just a great time with Terry Funk. Both Bobby Yates and Steve Fry had great houses there, and just it was a lot of people that I have not seen. First time for me, got to meet their hero Terry Funk. So I just thought that was pretty cool. So just a great success, Bullet. And of course, Sonny, I want to thank right off the bat. I want to thank Friendship Baptist Church in Lancaster. Bullet, this pastor, we worked for him before. When I used to bring you down to Lancaster, and that Donnie Birchfield, who ran that little American Legion building down in Lancaster, remember, off to the side?
I used to love those shows. Friday nights.
That's exactly right.
Usually on an off weekend, because it'd be like a second or a third Friday or a last.
That's good, boy. Because
the first Friday would always be busy, but he would always run like the second or third, like an off
That's
one
good.
when we only got a single shot.
That's
so
right.
it was always like something we could do, turn around, come back home. Like
That's
before,
exactly
we'd be
right.
home before 10 o'clock.
That's exactly right.
You know, we do the show because you don't have like 5-6 matches. Do the show, turn around, come back. You can make a little bit of money merch-wise.
That's
so
exactly
we're
right.
already on the plus side before we take off for a Stan Lee show or one of your shows or somewhere else in Virginia or West Virginia or on
That's
the other side of
exactly
the
right.
state.
Wow.
Love those shows so much.
Wow, Bullet, thank you so much. Thank you. And he's a pastor now, been down there for about 7 years, and just a great, we had to reminisce about a lot of those shows. He reminded me, and I'm not sure, but I think you may have been the one in the ring with me that night when we were working, and one of the divas, as they call them now, was actually selling pictures during our match.
That was your show. That was definitely one of your shows.
Yeah,
That wasn't a Donnie show. That was one of your shows there.
Yes.
I was definitely there that night.
And I kind of like stopped in the middle of the match and addressed the diva that was like selling pictures during our match. So we kind of had to stop that.
Back before they became female wrestlers.
Oh, yes, exactly.
They were female wrestlers, then became divas. Now they're female wrestlers. It was in that era where things were a little bit sketchy, and we let a few women in that weren't supposed to be in.
But at least I
Nothing against the people we're talking about, but
at
it was
least
during that time.
And then I knew when I was yelling, I knew what to call them. Now I wouldn't know to call them divas or lady wrestlers or diva wrestlers.
No, they're female wrestlers now, for sure.
Okay.
What you're dealing with today is a completely different animal.
Okay, very good.
sure.
Very good. So anyway, just a great time.
Actually, girls today, they don't even sell their pictures. They just want to have like 5-star
Oh, yeah.
matches now.
They got time.
Yeah, girls haven't got time to sell pictures these
Oh,
days.
no.
But back then, in those 2005, that's all
Oh.
girls want to do is sell pictures.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Now girls
Ain't that
want
amazing?
a 5-star match. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Because they're much easier to deal with.
Yeah, that's a very good point. In that
Much
short
easier.
time, Bullet.
I love it.
That's very true. How it's changed. Before, you're exactly right. How they cared more about selling pictures than they didn't care if they even had a match.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even had a match. That's very good. Good, Bullet.
It's far better now.
Now, buddy. Yeah, they get down to business now. So anyway, a lot of stuff going on, Bullet. Of course, this week. A Saturday night, of course, the big show in Gastonia, North Carolina, down there for the Gastonia Police that we do every year. Ron Simmons is going to be there. Rock and roll, steel cage match, Barbarian and Warlord. Just a great event. I think they announced like Lodi's going to be there today. They got a lot of guys they've added to it. So it's just going to be a great show. They're good cause for the children that the Police Athletic League and all that, the Gastonia Police help. So, and of course, Sunday, put a quick plug in. Maybe I'll be Revolt again. No, okay. But Sunday, PWX.
I don't know if I'm going to be Revolt. Who knows? Might be a one-man revolt. Who knows? We'll see what
But I
happens.
do got to put a quick plug in because I think it's the coolest drink. She would not let me bring it here to show on my show, but my lady Vicky that helps me, she's actually found there is a Revolt energy drink with the coolest Revolt logo on it, and she brought 2 this weekend, hoping to maybe see you or Joe Duke, Zane Riley, to present them to them, which she would not let me do it. So I just spoiled the surprise. So if she happens to see you Sunday, it's the coolest Revolt looking can I ever seen in my life. But I don't know how good of an energy drink it is, but it's a cool looking can. So.
And God bless Vicky a couple of times. She's
Oh my
brought
goodness.
a box of chicken that has saved my life and mostly other people's lives, because I get very cranky when I get hungry. And you have to thank Vicky for saving a few people's lives, for bringing me food, and she's gotten smart that I'm on a diet now, and she's bringing grilled chicken.
That's
so
exactly.
I appreciate
Bless her
that.
heart.
Bless her heart for saving people's lives from my warpath.
Oh my gosh, I could not imagine. But it just, when you finish the work, the cage, the barriers, the railing, and everything's quiet, it's just little bit of peace just to be able to go sit down by yourself and eat that grilled chicken.
Yeah,
just a
chicken
little
bites,
peace. There's
that's
that
all
little
it
bit
is.
of peace.
That's all it is.
Just a lot of stuff going on. We do have a book here to sell, but before we do, Bullet, got a quick idiot of the week, if you don't mind, Bullet. The idiots are running ragged, and this may have a little controversy tied into it, but you got to let me finish before we start getting letters and emails, okay?
I'll turn you around if we get
there.
there.
Do. Thank you, Bullet. Thank you. And of course, your comments are always welcome. Of course, you'll help me put it back in line. But I just think it's so comical with this whole, and I can't even say it right, the LBGT thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. But as everyone knows, my good friend, the boss, Bruce Springsteen, canceled his concert this past week in Greensboro. Mm-hmm. That's why I want to put Bruce in. Not because anything to do with the LBGY, whatever that is. That's whatever that is. But brother, why do you give back money? That's my question.
Okay.
Okay.
We got a little scared. I know where you're going. You're more in the situation. Why
yes.
would you give back money?
Yeah, and I can see Bruce, who's a multi-billionaire, standing for what he believes. I thoroughly understand that. But we're talking about some roadies here, which we're talking about. Can't you see the guy that's just waited all week to run tables?
Okay,
but,
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so I'm speaking.
You're speaking for those guys.
I am.
The guys that roll the cabinets because they need to get paid. Now, if Bruce paid them for their time,
yes,
then more power to you.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, totally agree with what you did, Bruce.
Yeah.
Totally agree. But what about the guy that carries the anvil cases in? He lost some order.
That's all I'm caring about,
yes.
Bullet, okay?
But I guess that's the example that he's trying to make in the state of North Carolina.
Yes.
Much like the NBA All-Star Game, much like everybody else that's trying to pull out.
But now, that is a very good question, and we'll just leave it there. I know we got to get off here, but I just hope those individuals that we relate to, maybe the guy that has to set up the tables for Bruce's gimmicks. I don't know. Maybe the building pit. I hope.
But even though, here's another thing that and I know there's going to be a lot of people that have either tuned out or get very mad at us. But all of you that are hating us for taking the side of Bruce for what the stand he's trying to make a little bit, let me explain to you a little bit more about what this bill's about. The bill that has been passed has made it not able for people of not just LBGT community, but people of age, sex. You can get fired for being pregnant in the state of North Carolina because of this bill. You could get fired, George, because you're too old.
Oh, gosh.
And
the
only recourse that you have is to file a federal lawsuit. So now you have to go to a federal with more restrictions, longer wait times. Before this bill, you could go down to a courthouse and make a claim. Now you can't do that anymore. We are one of 2 states that does not have that type of protection. And most importantly, the minimum wage restrictions in the sense that, let's say Charlotte's doing very well and they got a big company in like Amazon or whatever coming in. They say, Amazon, this is going to be good for our community. We want to raise our minimum wage. We want to make sure the people that are working for you for minimum wage are going to get a fair wage to live in a bigger city. And now our restrictions are a little bit different than somebody who lives in Wilson, North Carolina, so you could have different standards of living in a sense. They don't have to pay as much to live in there. But we want higher standards of living for your minimum wage workers. So they set a limit for that. That has been taken off the table.
Yeah.
You can't change that. So you could they've made this all about a hot button issue, but really at the same sense, it's discrimination against everybody. And that's what you should be most mad at. It's about rich people trying to discriminate and prevent us from discrimination in general of sex, gender, age, pregnant, not pregnant, and not just LBGT community. And even if they win their case against the state, the things that they will change the LBGT community. And the age restriction, you will still be able to get fired for being too old. I'll be getting fired because I lose too many matches. And people will get fired for being pregnant. Even if the LBGT community wins their case, those things will stay into play. And that's the most important thing that needs to be changed with that is discrimination against everybody because of rich. I don't even know what to say, but it's awful. And I know there's a lot of people like, well, it's more about a bathroom thing. It's not about a bathroom thing. It's about discrimination.
So we can, and I want to keep Bruce in it just till we find out, and I'm sure some smart.
Did
he take care of his crew?
He did take care of the roadies. If we take care of the roadies, we'll take him out.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take him out, and when we take him out, we'll play Thunder Road in the background.
I love
that is a promise. I don't care
uh,
if we get in trouble for playing it on the show. We will play Thursday Road and ceremoniously take the boss out.
And honestly, I would like to know. I mean, I don't know how that works. I'm sure Bruce probably took care of his people, but I do know there was a lot of people. It's almost like when a movie goes off, you know, you're looking through the credits. It makes you wonder, like, how does all these people get paid? I mean, it's just amazing. The thousands of people, you know, the grippers and the lighting people and all that kind of stuff. So that will be the question. Maybe we'll carry over till next week. We'll probably forget about it and won't talk about it again.
Move on.
We'll move on.
We've made our stance on this. We've made our bones. And I'm sorry to get very passionate, very political on this. I've done a lot of reading on this, and it really upsets me that I live in a state where this happens because we are one of two. Like, I don't even think Mississippi's that bad. And I think we're better than Mississippi. Like, we're North Carolina, for Pete's sake. We can do better.
So, if anyone knows, I don't even know how you would find out, but I would like to know. I'm sure Bruce took care, but there's a lot of people involved besides just his band canceling the event. Yeah. And you know, I don't know. I can just see some poor fella that had it penciled in his book like I used to do for Jim Crockett. You know, he had the Greensboro Coliseum. He's going to work the gimmick T-shirts out front. Even the poor fella that's selling black market T-shirts. I mean, I feel for him. Yeah. Well, because he couldn't illegally make money that night. So,
and that's the point that Bruce was trying to make. Because if your state won't make that money, and unfortunately, it's the poor, it's the people that need that money are getting affected by it, and that's exactly what this bill has done and is now doing, and it's getting doubled down on us. So anybody that's mad about it, find your congressman, your representative, your state senator, find those people, contact them, and raise a fuss with them. So.
Good, very good points, Bullet. And please, someone, we're open-minded. We'd love to hear anybody. I just take care of the crew. I don't think
exactly.
I'll always
take care of those. Take care of those people.
Yeah,
you know
take care. Now, Bruce, that's okay if you just take a stand. Anybody take a stand. But there's some young 1980s George South that's just looking for Dusty to book them. Okay, that may be
probably some local opening acts that were supposed to go on that night.
I know. Bullet. Oh my gosh, so many stuff. So anyway, with all that being said, Bullet, what you will never have to give back or never have to refund, because we don't accept refunds, is if you purchase one of
these, the second greatest book of all time. So
you better like it.
Which is available at highspots.com, which is a company in North Carolina, and we don't discriminate against anybody here.
We'll sell one to anybody.
Anybody. We will sell to anybody, no matter what age, gender, or race, or sexual orientation. You are more than welcome, and we will not give the money back. That is one thing for sure. And if you know more about me and my politics, if you didn't hear enough of them, make sure you follow me on Twitter @ManScoutManning and on Instagram @ManScoutManning. It's been another edition of Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle.
Good show.
Oh, I feel like you after this show.
I know, it's draining, boy.
We felt like Jimmy Swaggart there for a second.
We need a Revolt energy drink, buddy. Listen, Vicky will market this DVD and sell it. This copy, since we put her over a little bit on the show. So